Today, NOAA released its latest projections for the algae bloom on Lake Erie this summer. The updated forecast still calls for a moderate severity level between a 3 and 6 on a 10-point scale. NBC 24's Eric Zernick talks with an expert at the University of Toledo Lake Erie Center to find out what this means.
Thomas Bridgman, the director for the Lake Erie Center, says the models do a great job, and all things point to this summer's algae bloom being smaller than last year.
This spring has just been a drier spring than last year. Last year was incredibly wet, and so that's why the projection for this year is less than last year.
But last week, we saw a couple days of heavy rain, which caused many of the local rivers to swell and even flood in a few spots.
These storms really loaded a lot of phosphorus into the Maumee River and therefore into Lake Erie this past week.
And the later in the season these heavy rains occur, the more phosphorus they are able to dump into the lake.
So the later into May, June, and even into July, we have big storms. That's what really, that just compounds and magnifies the effect.
To go along with the rains, the recent heat wave of 90-degree temperatures has really warmed up Lake Erie.
The blooms really love warm water, and I think that after this heat spike that we just had, the lake is up to about 68 degrees, and that's about when the bloom or the cyanobacteria start to wake up and start to reproduce. And then they'll really take off if the temperature gets above about 70. And anything above that, then they just really grow exponentially faster.
Thus, if temperatures stay warm and the lake does not cool off much in the coming weeks, the algae bloom could start showing up ahead of schedule.
If these warm temperatures continue, we may see an earlier bloom. But how large it is will depend on how many nutrients are loaded into the lake between now and July.
But due to the pandemic, Bridgman and his team have not been able to do any field work for the last 3 months. But they are hopeful to get back out on the water and start getting samples again next week. Reporting along Lake Erie, Eric Zernick, NBC 24 News.